Hey, welcome everybody, you lovely Moonstompers out there. A very warm welcome back to the channel. I'm Mrs Moonstomper.
You certainly are, and I'm Mr Moonstomper.
Mr Moonstomper there.
Guys, it's absolutely amazing to have you on board. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really do appreciate it. And Mrs Moonstomper, isn't the channel doing well as ever?
Oh yes.
It certainly is indeed.
Muchas gracias.
Wow, what can I even say, guys? Thank you so much.
I know, many thank yous.
The comments are absolutely amazing, they really are. And guys, we couldn't do it without you, and it's an absolute pleasure. The amount of love, the amount of praise. Wow, gosh, you guys rock, you really do. I'm just bowled over. I really am.
Oh yes.
Absolutely bowled over. So, Mrs Moonstomper.
Yes, Mr Moonstomper, yes.
How's your week been?
It's been alright.
Mine too.
Away from that rocky week we had the week before.
Wow.
The rocky, turbulent week.
Yeah, that happens.
But now things have... And breathe.
Yeah, and breathe, yeah, absolutely. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, man.
So, Mrs Moonstomper.
Oh,
Mrs Moonstomper.
Yes.
What
can I do you for?
What has been on your rotation this week?
Again, me reggae and me northern soul as you. The usual spiel.
Any artists in particular?
Yes, well, I've been listening to Selector Wienaz, the reggae channel.
Wow.
On the tube, yes.
Yeah. So
and,
any particular tracks caught your eye? Caught your ear?
Oh dear, he's been playing I've been listening to some of the old Skinhead records.
Wow.
Yes.
So sort of going back to the Kingstonians, that type of thing.
That's it, yeah. Some a bit of Claudette as well. And,
why not?
Phyllis Dillon.
Phyllis Dillon, that's a mouthful, isn't it? That's exactly what she said as well. But there you go, that's another thing altogether, isn't it?
Yes, oh yes.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Oh,
so,
yes.
On my rotation this week, Motorhead. Copious quantities of Motorhead, bit of Metallica, bit of GBH.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been that kind of a week, but bit of Dionne Warwick as well.
And why not?
And none other, get ready for it guys, this is my guilty pleasure, the Bee Gees.
Ain't nothing wrong with the Bee Gees.
So Mrs Moonstomper, so last week, if you recall, I said, what is your guilty pleasure in music? So what's your guilty pleasure in music?
Coldplay.
Oh, Mrs Moonstomper likes Coldplay. Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Only one track off Coldplay, but...
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I know that. Coldplay alright.
What I'll say about Coldplay is, as boring as they are bloody good musicians.
They are, yes.
Really, really good musicians.
Yes.
So, okay, kudos to you. You have just expanded your musical horizons, Mrs Moonstomper. Mr Moonstomper, you've just expanded your musical horizons, and guys at home, down in the comments, what is your guilty pleasure?
Yes, please.
In music only.
Let's hear it.
We don't hear the other things because that could be quite detrimental to the channel. But in music, what's your guilty pleasure?
Yes.
Pop it in the comments below. You too can broaden your musical horizons.
Spread those wings, yes.
Absolutely, and there is nothing wrong with
Lovely.
that. But it took me years, right? Just incidentally, it took me years to admit that I actually like other things.
Oh yes, me too.
But that's from working in the music industry.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And me as well, from when I was a little itty bitty little thing, we listened to the radio on in the house all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. The spirit of the radio and all that. So, Mrs Moonstomper,
Oh yes, Mr. Moonstomper.
this week, what's it all about?
It's about GBH.
Charged GBH.
Oh, yes.
Right, so, originally Charged GBH, but
Okay.
this is, not that I'm biased or anything, but this is a Birmingham band, so my hometown. And why not?
And why not?
And why not? Absolutely shameful.
Good old Birmingham.
So so they, as we said, hail from Birmingham, and formed in 1978.
78.
Now, GBH, Charged GBH, I'll just call them GBH because that's what they eventually changed the name to.
Okay.
Right, apparently they got the name through, it was the then bassist Sean McCarthy who was charged with grievous bodily harm, allegedly. Right, now I like that explanation, that for me is probably the best explanation, although
Oh yes.
later, so the vocalist I can never say it, Colin Abrahall,
Okay.
denied it. Way later, it's got quite some years later. I think in the late 20-teens,
Okay.
claiming it was just a name like the UK subs. And then when he was pushed, he actually turned round and said it stood for Girls, Booze and Hash. Nah.
Okay.
I kind of don't like that explanation. do you? No, I prefer the
Pants on fire.
Yeah, GBH, grievous bodily
Bodily
harm
harm.
if you don't come from the United Kingdom, which is like quite a serious assault.
Oh, defo, yes.
I'm not sure what they call it in the United States or other countries in the world. So, down in the comments, or perhaps not down in the comments, and let us know. But there you go.
Yeah, just curious.
And a great band to boot. Really, really heavy.
Yeah.
So, Mrs Moonstomper.
Yes.
On the subject of GBH, right, do you know who the original members were? Well, we've just mentioned two, funnily enough, which it was
Colin.
Abrahall,
Yes.
who was the guitarist, obviously,
Okay.
and then it was, was it Colin Abrahall, Colin Blythe, Colin Abrahall on the vocals,
Okay.
beg your pardon, Colin Jock, Blythe on
Two Collins.
on the guitar, and Sean McCarthy
Oh yes.
on the bass. And then you've got a clutch of drummers there as well. They kind of changed drummers. Drummers were on rotation in that band quite heavily. Well, not quite heavily, but more so than other bands.
Any other bands?
Yeah,
Yes.
but the main the main threesome, as it were, they stayed together.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've been pretty much together throughout.
Oh.
To be honest with you.
Good band of brothers. So
Yeah,
to speak.
absolutely. So when they formed in '78, they caused a bit of I would say it was a bit of a shock, to be honest with you,
Yes.
because right from the get-go they were heavier and a lot faster as well,
Oh,
like a
yes.
hell of a lot faster than your traditional sort of punk,
Yes.
if that makes sense. And it was quite a I would say it's a punch in the face in terms of musical style.
I know what you mean. Yes.
Definitely. So,
And weren't the pioneers of British street punk?
yeah, there were actually. So early pioneers of British street punk. So it's that sort of genre's nicknamed as UK 82, in case
yes.
you didn't know. And that would be alongside bands like Discharge, Broken Bones, and The Exploited,
That's it.
and the Verucas as well.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. Hands up, who's ever heard of Veruca? Yeah, there
Not
you go.
me, I've never heard of Veruca.
Right, and what I would say is they went on to influence lots of punk musicians,
Yes, they did.
and the influence was really far-reaching as well, funnily enough. But in heavy metal,
I would say.
of all things, heavy metal. But it's like the sort of like the early stuff like Hellhammer, Celtic Frost, Exodus, and then the what you call the big four in thrash metal: Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer. Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax.
You can see where they get their influence from.
Do you know what? When you hear like "Give Me Fire," you can hear
From
straight away.
Metallica.
That's like Metallica could have just made that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just that you can hear that like it's almost like an early James Hetfield.
Yes.
If you sort of
It so does. If you got an ear for that thing.
yeah, straight away. Yeah. So absolutely brilliant band, really fast, really heavy. I saw them once
you're
in
lucky enough to
Birmingham.
see them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And they were, when I say they were heavy, they were like really, really heavy, and that was just a riotous gig. It really was, but brilliant.
They signed with Clay Records, didn't they?
Yeah, Clay
Records.
Clay Records was really important in the sort of in the UK punk scene. I think they hail from Stoke, if I remember rightly, Clay Records.
Okay.
But we'll come to that later.
Yes. And GBH, signed the first release.
It was
that's
leather
good.
bristles, studs and acne
Yes.
in 1981, which was that was actually an EP.
Oh yes.
Then shortly after they embarked on English
Went over
tours.
to the,
Then they went to the US as well.
yes.
But that was during the early 80s, where I think they went to, was it
played,
the 100 Club?
Played a few gigs there.
Yeah,
the
they
100
went.
Club.
Yeah, the 100 Club.
Yes.
Then it was then they did the first LP, which was City Baby City Baby Attacked by Rats, and that got to number 17 in the UK album charts and in the indie charts. I can't remember what it got to as
It was
well.
number 17, wasn't it?
Something like that.
And then yes.
Yeah.
It was number 2 and number 17.
But that was one was in the main charts, one was in the indie charts.
I see.
But they also got a spot on the Tube as well with the Tube, the Channel 4 programme
yes.
with Gimme Fire.
Okay.
And that reached number 2 in the indie charts. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Like really, really what's and then lyrically the album dealt with sort of like it was criticism on British and European culture, violence and morbidity.
Goodness.
Especially in songs like The Passenger on the Menu, which describes, I think that goes into detail about, was it the Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Flipping heck.
Yeah. And then it goes into lots of atheism, nihilism and humour, but musically it was like, when I say it was fast, that LP is really, guys, if you haven't checked them out, go and check them out.
They're loud
fast.
and they're fast.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. And the songs didn't last very long, just till 3 minutes.
No, they were all so
3 minutes,
very sort of, I mean, like proper punk, you know, like sort of in the vein of the Ramones, like sort of 2 minutes, 3 minutes over. But yeah, brilliant. And then I think the success of the second LP, which was Crybaby's Revenge, 83.
1983, yes.
And they got more extensive touring in America and Europe and high UK, lots of high profile shows.
That's it.
Which included like the Punk Festival in Carlisle. And was it the 82 where they had
UK 82.
Did they co-headline that?
Yes,
with the Exploited, the UK 82 stalwarts.
Yes.
And then shared the bill with the likes of Toy Dolls and Chelsea and the Destructors, etc.
Yes,
etc.
they did. Yep.
And it wasn't till so it was always Charged GBH,
yes.
and they didn't actually drop Charged until 84.
1984, yes.
Yeah, but I actually saw them as Charged. No, I didn't. I saw them as GBH.
Just
actually.
GBH.
Yeah, just GBH. Do beg your pardon. Yeah. So,
Wow.
but in terms of their inspiration, so they actually drew a hell of a lot of inspiration from Motorhead.
Okay.
So you can kind of hear it, apart from it's not
And
so...
why wouldn't they?
Well, yeah, exactly, apart from it's not so bass heavy,
Okay.
if that makes sense, but it does make sense to me.
Yes, oh yes.
But yeah, you can hear it straight away, that, it's just faster in your face.
I was thinking they sort of knew but didn't really want to replicate Motorhead, so they weren't so heavy.
Flattery's a really good, imitation's a really good form of flattery, isn't it?
Yes, so they say, yes.
In that respect. So just moving forward a bit, I mean, right, so in '86 they released Midnight Madness and Beyond.
Yes.
And they signed to Roadrunner Records. Now Roadrunner Records, that's quite a big deal.
Okay.
That's a really, really good solid label. But Williams, I think, did Williams leave the band? Yeah, he did. So another drummer gone. And then I think was it Kai Redder from Napalm Death who jumped onto the drums. So Napalm Death, another Birmingham band.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. But they were like a little bit later, but there was lots of thrash metal.
They sound American. I thought there was American Napalm Death.
No.
Just imagine Napalm
British,
Death.
as Birmingham as you like.
Okay.
Then I think did they release...
No Need to Panic.
Was that the next...
This was 1987, this was.
87, right, okay, so it goes a little bit hazy for me there.
Okay. A Fridge Too Far.
A Fridge Too Far, I love that. That's just, that reminds me of that. I don't know why, it's nothing to do with it, but there was a film called A Fridge Around Ireland where somebody, weird.
Oh yeah.
Where he got
check it out if you want.
Yeah, he got a refrigerator and dragged it around Ireland.
That's so weird.
Absolute bonkers.
Truly bizarre.
Yeah. So your thoughts on GBH? Not really your thing, is it?
Not really my thing, but I like the sound. I like where they're coming from. It sounds really good. Some of the tracks.
I like it a hell of a lot. I think I think that's punk done properly. It's got a ruder attitude to me. In fact, it's got a hell of an attitude.
Yes.
It's just really, really rude and downright dirty in your face.
It's like many bands, they draw the inspiration from each other and not only draw inspiration but give inspiration.
Well, yeah, I kind of think that it makes the Sex Pistols look like Take That, to be honest with you. All the VGs, it does. It's like, because it's that much heavier.
Yeah.
It's that much more attitude. It's that much more everything.
Like in your face type of thing.
So in terms of, but the thing about this band, because you look at those and you go, fuck, they're controversial straight away.
Yeah.
They are really, really rock. They are bad lads, but the words.
Okay.
That's just it, and that's so it's a really good stage persona they had there.
Oh yes.
Really, really good stage persona, and a great set of lads as well.
Yes.
So, let's say, in true Moonstomper original fashion, let's take a bit of a break.
Yes.
And when we come back, we'll wrap up. We'll also do the prize giveaway as well.
Oh yes.
So.
Lovely giveaway.
Absolutely. Right, we'll give the prize giveaway and then, So have a look at this, guys, and we'll be back in a moment.
Back in a few. Go on.
I'm the vocalist and I sing vocals.
With GBH?
Yes.
And your name is Colin?
Yes.
Very punk name.
I was christened Colin. I didn't have the nerve to change.
What did you do before punk came along?
Played football. I was still at school. Until the first gig I ever went to was the Ramones, the Rosellos. It was the Christmas '77 tour. They played Birmingham. Was it Amsterdam? It was, I can't remember what the place was called, the Top Rank it was called then. And it was the first gig I'd ever been to, I didn't know what was going on. I saw the Rosellos, who were still one of my favourite bands, they were brilliant. Then the Ramones came on, and it was just brilliant. And then we left, and then me and my friends who got chased by all these football fans onto the bus that took us home. And we were sitting there, and the bus driver shut the bus, and all these football fans were like, a quarter of an inch away. Come on, come on. And we were just sitting there pretending to be scared, because we were. And I didn't go to another one for a couple of months. I thought, the football fans are going to be out there. But they weren't. And the next gig I went to was 999. And that was excellent.
So you started to form a band?
Yeah, just after them, yeah.
And how did you form that band, and what was your first gig?
First gig we did was a prostitutes' rights benefit gig at Digbeth Civic Hall, which is a famous old venue, which is called the Institute now, and they do all raves and stuff. But somehow we got bottom of the bill on this thing, and we'd played, there was about 5 people there, no prostitutes, so I doubt the charity, and that was it. I packed my job in, and thought this rock and roll is for me.
Tell me about building your stage.
Building the stage, hammers, nails and wood, that's all it was.
Come on, the story.
No, that was it. Oh, we used to drink in this pub called The Crown, which is at the back of the station in Birmingham. And they used to have discos Friday and Saturday night, like punk discos, punk and reggae. And we was a band, and the gaffer said, if you build a stage, you can do a gig here. So we built a stage, did a gig, it was semi-successful, and then he said, build another stage. So we moved the stage from the side to the end of the room, and it might still be there to this day, I don't know. There might be a blue plaque on it saying GBH built this stage. And then that was it. And then we begged, stole and borrowed equipment, did gigs, and that was it.
What was your best gig or your worst gig? Your most memorable one?
Oh, we had loads. 17 years compacted into one story, it doesn't go, but about 2 years ago we were doing a gig in Mexico City, Mexico. Oh, we were well travelled, and we had to fly from Birmingham to Heathrow. That plane was delayed, so the plane from Heathrow to Washington DC was delayed, so we had to get another one from Heathrow to Heathrow to New York, change planes in New York, go to Los Angeles, change planes from Los Angeles to Mexico City, get to Mexico City, had 2 days off, did the gig. We only played 6 songs because there was a riot. I had my leather stolen, my passport was in it, my wife had just had a baby, and I was pleading to get home, and they wouldn't let me go. No, you better go to the embassy and get an emergency passport. So I went to the British embassy, got an emergency passport. When I got home 24 hours later, without my bag got lost, it went to Sweden and somewhere else, and I got home and I thought, honey, I'm home. And that was it. That was a quick one anyway.
Did you make any money out of it?
Yeah. But we drank it. For our best years, we had a manager who was a complete thief. Can I underline that in red ink?
Which was who?
I'm not saying his name, but he was basically a thief, and he stole money off us until we eventually worked all the mathematics of the money involved in the band out, and we found out how much he was taking, and it was like Colonel Tom Parker stealing money off Elvis. And we just went, no more, fired him, and we've been happy ever since. We've been happy and broke, we've been happy and fucking loaded. But happy and without him is good.
What do you try and convey in your songs? Is there any one particular thing?
Whatever's going on in your head at the moment. We've got a new album coming out at the end of August called Punk Junkies. It'll be our 9th or 10th actual album, and there's a range of subjects covered, from friends of ours. There's a song called Crying on the Hard Shoulder, which is about a friend of ours who used to be our sound engineer, but he used to drink too much, so we demoted him to a roadie He still used to drink. We demoted him, and there was nowhere lower he could go, apart from being our friend and still coming to gigs and still stealing all our beer. And it ended up with him on the side of the motorway crying. And someone said, "Don't leave him crying on the hard shoulder." And I made a mental note of it. We wrote a song about it. But there's stuff about injustice, the normal things that piss everyday people off.
When you first started out, did you think this is punk? Did you think you were part of this big punk scene thing?
No, I didn't think we were worthy of it, to be honest. Because we'd only been to gigs where there was like cigarettes we were looking for. Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
Cameraman, have one.
I'll call someone.
I ain't got fucking right questions of Paul's. Can you tell us a bit about tonight?
Tonight. I thought it was really good, actually. Better than I thought.
You went down very well. No, I've got the history. I've got, to make a documentary about this.
17 years. And I'm only 27. So we were 10 when I
Yeah,
first...
bollocks.
I'm 32 and I only just turned
34.
And a very well-worn one too.
Thank you. My wife wouldn't agree with you, but I would.
That's a bit bourgeois, getting married.
I got married in the one and only place of...
Last Vegas.
with an Elvis impersonator.
That's
About
cool.
2 years ago. And we've been together for like 15 years. And the kids and stuff. And we were going to Disneyland. And I said, well, I think we can fly to LA and then just fly to Las Vegas. It's like
You've
an
had
hour
a good
away.
life about this.
Yeah, but when people stole, if we'd had all the money that people stole and ripped us off for,
But I want to de-pause that tape. Tell me about your money problems.
we started again.
Yeah.
We got loads. People stealing money off us. God knows what else. But when you're young, you don't care. People say like, you've got a gig, you've got to be in London at like 4 o'clock. So you think, oh, we'll be in London. So you're wide-eyed, 17, 18 years old. You don't know any better. And you turn up and then you see we're a support band and we got £10 each. And then you see the headlining act, which I won't name, walking out with a brown paper bag stuffed full of money. Then you start to think, hang on a minute, surely a percentage of that is ours. It's like a percentage of the people that came to the gig that come see us. And then you start moving, right, we don't get out of bed for less than like 50 quid.
50 quid.
Don't get out of bed. You want to get us to a gig, it costs a bit more, right? If you want us to have a wash, it's a bit more as well. We've got a price list thing built in. Get out of bed, have a wash, shower. In fact, we do this thing, double package. Get out of bed, have a shower, and be ready for the bus as one price. Providing there's someone on the bus with drugs for you when you get on there. So you can go, oh, I've done my work for the day.
Were drugs a big part of the punk scene?
No. Don't explain that.
You lying
Look,
toad.
I've got family and things. I'm sure.
You mentioned family earlier. With touring, is
Yeah.
that a lot of stress on that guy leaving them
It is.
for long times?
It's stressed when I get back. You haven't been here for... No, because my wife works like full time as well, so we have to kind of juggle.
Sounds like you're very
Kids
conformist.
juggle. Okay,
I mean,
I'm coming out at 4 o'clock. You catch them.
how rebellious were you
As a kid.
as a punk? How rebellious have you been, or are you quite conventional?
Yeah, I don't know. I left home pretty early. Like 16, 17. Kind of bed sit. And then I moved into a house. There was like 5 of us sharing this house. It was like the young ones before the young ones ever happened. So. But it was like street level. I was working in the jewellery quarter in Birmingham. So I used to make fucking gold rings and stuff. I used to come home and there'd be like, walk in the house, there'd be people shagging in your bed. You go to make a cup of tea, there'd be nothing in the fridge. There'd be people like one person like injecting himself in the kitchen. So you'd go, okay, I was just checking if there's any milk, and go out and put the telly on, and the electric's been cut off. It's like one of the... And I came home one night, the electric had been cut off. And, somebody had a candle going and it had set the house on fire. Well, the upstairs bedroom, the guy was on acid and he was thinking, oh wow man, what a fire. And then eventually, oh no, it's really on fire. So he gets loads of buckets of water, puts the fire out, and we get home from the pub and all the ceilings falling and there's no electric. We go, what's the matter? Oh, there's a fire, man. It's just like every day something happens. And then eventually I found a good woman and a flat, and in fact, sort of sanctuary.
Isn't that selling out?
And I think it's surviving, to be honest, because we wouldn't, if we'd have all been still in the house, we wouldn't have been alive.
Welcome back, everybody. Did you enjoy that? I hope you did.
Yeah, certainly hope you did. So, GBH. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, what a band.
I know, wow.
So, right, it's looking at the roots of this band. So, in Birmingham, there was a pub called The Crown.
Oh, yes.
Which is on the corner by New Street and the sort of round the corner from the Midland Red bus station. Now, I remember that ever so well. That's where Black Sabbath played the first ever gig.
Oh, right.
And it was just synonymous with good gigs.
Yes.
But it was a punk hotbed as well. So that's where GBH rehearsed there as well.
Yes.
They've built the stage.
Oh,
Yeah,
Get
so
them.
there you go. Yeah, so a really, really, really good pub, good solid pub.
Yes.
Yeah, it's closed now, which is a shame.
Oh,
I think last
it's
time,
like every other
yeah,
pub.
last time I went there was probably 10, 15 years ago, something like that.
yes, oh yes.
But so going back to Clay Records, right? So the person to thank for that is a chap called Mike Stone.
Stone, yes.
And then Mike Stone in the late 70s changed everything for punk in the UK. Where he actually started punting records out from the boot of his car.
yes.
And he started Clay Records, which is a tiny record shop up in Stoke-on-Trent, which is in Staffordshire. So that's next county to us. We're in the West Midlands.
yes.
And he got that through. That was after the sort of distribution.
All right.
But so at that time, Birmingham was a hotbed of music. If you remember, especially the late 70s, early 80s, bands like.
Especially Sabbath, you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, but Sabbath had gone by then,
Oh,
so
I
it was
see.
bands like Duran Duran. They were the ones that
Forgot
were taking
those.
a UB40, Dexys, Midnight Runners, the Beats, and then just
Yeah.
further out the Selector and Specials as well.
Okay.
But they were all professionally recorded, and the punk scene was still really, really DIY.
Oh yes.
So
When Dexys, Midnight Runners, Buskers,
that
before they charted.
I watched them busk in Birmingham Bullring
Yes.
before they charted.
Wow.
They used to busk there quite often. Great band as well. Go check them out, guys.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
So
Oh yes.
right, so
The singer.
the singer Abrahall. Right, so
Yes.
his theory about why punk's second wave was much harder and faster.
All right.
Right, well, the audience had become bands as well. That was his
Oh.
theory. But what they're saying is the audiences of the first bands had also become bands, but they didn't have the same sort of musical skills as the sort of bigger bands like the Clash and stuff like that.
Oh, yes.
So the idea was just to pick up a guitar. I did it myself, and just play at a million miles an hour, breakneck speed, crank it right up, cover all your mistakes with loads of distortion. Yeah,
That's how they did it though, didn't they?
It was very
That's
much.
how it was done.
Yeah, it was very much a Motorhead thing, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Although, no, how many punks would actually admit that?
They probably wouldn't
Probably
admit
not.
it.
But do you know
Only
what?
A few would maybe.
Everybody loves Motorhead.
Oh gosh, how can you not?
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Yes.
But the music also mirrored the environment as well, if that makes sense. So people would either want to fight them, or
Have the picture taken.
well, yeah, more often fight
Be in
them.
that frame.
But yeah, so in Birmingham there was a thing where skinheads, bikers, or straights and sort of rude boys and mods were all very, very separated. They didn't like each other at all. But I'm not
That's
so
insane.
sure. Well, I'm not so sure what it was like where you guys come from at home, whether that was a thing. But they just did not mingle at all.
Gosh.
Full stop. So there was always that sort of
It's
friction.
like a rivalry thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Skinheads fought mods fought skinheads, bikers fought mods and skinheads. It was just crazy.
That doesn't make
and
any
then
sense,
punks were
though.
just fought by everyone. Wow, okay, fair enough, you know. Yeah, strange, but yeah, that's just the way it ran in Birmingham, I think. Not so sure about other places. So, going back to the first track that they wrote, which was Generals,
Right.
was the first single.
Yes.
Right. So, do you know the story behind that? It's a bit of a weird story.
Oh. Pray tell.
So it was written right. It was written off the back of the government were actually thinking of bringing conscription back in. So conscription back to the mandatory conscription back into the army.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So they wrote that off the back of that.
Flipping heck! Wow.
But yeah, exactly.
Is it like sort of national service?
Yeah,
type of thing?
national service.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
conscription.
yes.
Conscripted
I
for 3 years. Yeah.
Goodness me.
And they were just they were just shat on for too long.
Yes.
But they now from time to time you hear these guys like sort of marked up as Nazis, and it's nothing could be further from the truth. Like Cal was into crass, for God's sakes, and that's as far removed as possible. Yeah. So yeah.
Gosh.
But yeah. So but going back to Clay Records as well, they specialised in sort of British hardcore punk bands.
Yes.
But then from that, other labels sprang up as well.
Such as No Future label was that included?
Yeah.
Yes,
And I think that wasn't it the Exploited? No, the Exploited are Scottish from Edinburgh,
Yes.
if I remember rightly, and they were
They are,
signed to that.
Yes.
And then wasn't it? I can't.
This was in 1981.
Yeah, but I can't remember who Discharge we're with now.
Okay.
Because that's all in the same sort of bracket.
That's it, yes,
but
they are.
They actually went on top of the Pops. Yeah.
They did, yes.
But yeah, so this is kind of weird, and that's all from that scene, that UK '82 scene.
Yes.
Where he just said, I think it was it Colin, was it John Duncan?
Yes,
guitarist,
known as Big John.
Big John. He said
Big
women old enough to
John.
be the moms were coming up to him.
God.
And being really nice. Okay, fair enough.
I wonder how nice.
Yeah, but and then the song, I think they did a track, was it Dead Cities, and that was capturing the moments of sort of riots in these sort of UK cities.
Yes.
Yeah. So great band, absolute great band.
Yeah.
But so I mean, although it's not about sort of not so much about Discharge or the Exploited, but they kind of all go hand in hand, if that makes sense. But their first LP, Discharge, that went, I think that got into the top 40 as well.
Yeah, the BBC producers as well. They wanted them on the scene. Sort of thing.
They did. Yeah.
Yes.
They did. But
Gosh,
sort of going,
bit of a lucky break.
but going back to City Baby Attacked by Rats, which is GBH's like sort of first LP. Right, that was sort of number 17. It was sandwiched between, I think it was like Jimi Hendrix collection, the Paul McCartney's, the Paul McCartney LP or whatever it was.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, and then massive kudos to that band. But I think people were tired of. I think people were just tired of pop music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But then I think there was a distributor involved in Clay, and I think it was called Pinnacle, if I remember rightly, and they collapsed.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they collapsed.
In the mid-80s.
Yeah, they collapsed, and it took Clay with them. Clay went, and it just wiped Clay out forever, which was a shame. Sort of like to the I don't know what it was like, being quite a few thousand.
It's like near to a quarter of a million.
No, it wasn't that much.
All
It's
right.
probably that much in today's money, but I think it was like sort of 50 grand or whatever it was.
Goodness
You know,
me.
it was a lot of
Or
money.
where am I going with this $250,000?
I don't know, but yeah, probably the equivalent to that as well.
Oh, okay.
But
yes.
yeah, I mean, so you know, you've got people who, you know, people like Travis Barker and Rita Ora are wearing GBH t-shirts. Okay, get yourself a band, so you get a GBH one, guys. You know.
Is that Travis Barker from Blink 182? He's the drummer from Blink 182.
It is indeed,
yes.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to think then. Blink 1. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then you know other people who sort of you know like the English Dogs and stuff like that. Yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, amazing band, absolutely brilliant band. And then
They
you
were
know,
signed to Clay as well, weren't they? The English Dogs.
yes they were,
Signed
yeah,
to Clay.
certainly
And they
were
were hard,
indeed.
like deemed as dubbed as hardcore punks.
Hardcore, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So always love a bit of hardcore. Definitely, it's quite good. Yeah. And then
Right.
even Metallica have gone to the gigs as well.
Oh,
But why wouldn't you?
And why
Do you know
not?
what I mean? Guys, if you've not seen GBH live, go and watch GBH.
check 'em
They're
out.
still going. They're still
Yes.
going with the
Okay.
original, the 3 original members still left. The drummer changes, but you know, it's still
That's
the 3
it.
original members. They're getting a bit old, but fuck me, they can still do
you
it.
can still rock it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
Wow.
really, really good. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah. Anything else on the GBH, Mrs Moonstomper?
Oh, it's a bit of a short one.
Yeah. So a bit of a short one. So shall we
Can't think of anything else.
do the competition?
Let's
Yeah.
let's
So
do it.
right. So the top prize for the competition is it's an olive green MA1 jacket,
Bomber jacket.
and it's a Relco one, I think it is, in size large. Now, I normally wear a size large in Alpha,
Oh yeah.
but it's too big for me by a long chalk. So I would say, rather than a 42 to a 44, I'd say it was a 46. So you're gonna have to be a big guy to wear this. But if you ride a scooter, perfect scooter jacket. In fact, perfect winter jacket. It just looks nice, and it's brand new in the wrappers. So
Some people like to wear something oversized.
some people like it big. Oh, yeah.
Mister.
So we have that. Then we have, what was it? A fleecy Moonstomper
Throw.
Originals throw,
Throw a blanket.
and 2 cushion covers, and we have a Moonstomper Originals T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Yeah, as a runners-up prize.
Yes.
So along with the cushion covers and so that's 1, 2, 3. Is that 4 prizes?
4, yes.
4 prizes.
For what?
So what we'd like to know is, can you name 3 songs with the word Xanadu in the
Title.
title or in the song itself,
Oh yes.
and by which band and which year they
That's
came
it.
out. So
What was the year? What was the band?
3 songs with the word Xanadu,
Xanadu, yes.
the name of the band
And the year.
and the year.
Yes.
So
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know if it is a good question. I just sat there and thought of that the other day, which I think is a bit mean, but you're probably going to Google it anyway, for God's sake, so it's probably not that hard, is it, actually? But we've got to ask a question, so that's the question.
First come, first serve.
First come, first served. What we'll do, we'll pop an email address on our screen and enter the competition by email, and we'll pick the winners at random on the next edition.
Yes.
And when we pick the winners on air, what we'll do is we will get the prizes off to them.
Yes. Boom boom.
Ba-bum, indeed, ba-bum. So, anything else, Mrs Moonstomper?
No. Okay.
No.
No.
Thank God for that. No, just joking, Mrs Moonstomper. I'm so sorry about that. So,
That's fine.
I've got nothing else, but don't forget, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do so.
What you waiting for?
Yeah, I think, 75% of people that watch this channel don't subscribe. So
I don't get it.
and it's the press of a button. Doesn't cost you a penny. We don't bother you with texts or spam you with email.
No.
You'll get a notification if you want the notification of when the next video's out. That's all that's literally all we do.
That's it,
and
yeah.
we don't store your data, we don't store details, and your data's completely safe because it's on the YouTube platform.
Yes.
So
Yes, Mr. Moonstomper.
absolutely. And you'd be helping us out
the way it goes.
immensely. So the next goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
And I don't actually know why, because it's not as if we monetise, and we've got no plans to be monetised.
Nah.
We've got no plans to bombard you with adverts.
Hell no.
All we want to do is we want to bring you quality content on quality bands and lifestyle, etc, etc.
Definitely.
And don't forget also, in the comments below, your guilty pleasure. What have you been listening to on rotation this week, and what is your guilty pleasure?
Yes. Pray tell, let us know.
And don't forget, you can expand your musical horizons.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like Tommy Cooper.
Just like that.
Mrs Cooper. So, Mrs Cooper.
Mrs Moonstomper Cooper.
Just like that.
Enough already.
Right, okay, just right, enough. So, nothing else now?
No.
Okay, so I have nothing else. So, guys, as ever, I love you all, and until the next time, peace out from me.
It's been a pleasure. Love you. See you next time.
You maniac!